The disproportionate use of force by the security apparatus in Gabon. The country has experienced 2 days of violent protests against the re-election of President Ali Bongo.
Opposition leader and former AU Commission Chair Jinping has rejected the official results that handed the incumbent victory by the slimmest of margins. The European Union says the polls lacked transparency.
Violence on the streets of the nation's capital after angry demonstrators set Parliament on fire while the opposition claims their headquarters was stormed by the Presidential Guard.
The Secretary General is obviously very concerned about the situation in Gabon. He's following closely. His representative, Mr. Bati, is on the ground, has been talking to the various parties. As you know, recently the Secretary General spoke by phone to both Mr. Ping and President Bongo. I think the events that we've seen over the last 24 hours are extremely disturbing, whether it's the Parliament setting on fire. What we feel is the reaction by the police and the security forces, which have been disproportionate, which has led to violence.
The Secretary General's Special Representative for Central Africa, Abdoulaye Bathily, is said to be in direct contact with both sides, while the U.S. State Department has called on the Gabonese government to release the results for each polling station. The African Union Commission's chair on Twitter urged political actors to exercise restraint and echoed UN calls for the resolving of disputes through legal channels.
What is important is that there be institutions in place to address the concerns that either party has, and that people do not take to violence, and that security forces actually respect people's right to demonstrate freely and openly, do not use overbearing force on demonstrators.
President Bongo was elected in 2009 upon the death of his father, Omar Bongo, who was president of Gabon for 42 years.
The UN spokesperson also told us that the Secretary General is very aware of the needs of Gabon's population, particularly the youth who want better jobs, a better economy, and through that a better future. But more pressing will be whether the country's constitutional court will now validate the provisional election results that handed President Bongo victory by less than 6,000 votes, a margin so small that the opposition has called for a recount under international supervision. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.